Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to do a sideboard guide for Lotus Field combo. This deck is back into the forefront and back into being a pretty good deck in Pioneer. It's been in and out and in and out. We're going to talk about sideboarding for the top 10 most popular decks in Pioneer. And hopefully within those top 10 decks of Pioneer, you get a good grasp of how you should sideboard against the other decks. Let's do it. So the most popular deck in Pioneer is Mono Green Devotion, Nykthos Ramp, whatever you want to call it. This deck is kind of a rough matchup because they are combo deck too, and they get out really, really quick, and they also put on a lot of pressure while they're getting out their combo very, very quickly. So what we want against this deck is Pithy Needles. We want a reliable combo with Hope Tender, and Faded Hope is really good, can slow down aggression. The issue is this sideboard is actually kind of large for what we want to normally do, but we have some hope in that really their only interaction with us is Damping Sphere. So we don't really have to worry about things getting comboed. We don't really have to worry about things getting interrupted. We just have to worry about Damping Sphere being able to combo quickly before they combo or kill us. You know, we already have the main board Extinction Event, which is already super good. So cards we want to take out, we have to understand that they don't have the interruption besides Damping Sphere. But they are normally very quick. So we can't really afford to play something like Bala Ged Recovery. It's okay to take out the lands, in that sense, but we're never going to return a card from our graveyard to our hand, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't actually like Fae of Wishes. The thing about Fae of Wishes is that you want all of your tutors to be able to search out Extinction Event if you really need it. And if you're comboing, then you're comboing. There's no real thing that is stopping you. I also don't really like Vizier. You can't cast it to block anything, and it doesn't really make your combo faster. It just lets you dig in the longer games. It allows you to when you're in the process of comboing, it allows you to dig a little bit deeper. I think it's the worst thing that does that. So we want to ship it, and I like shaving an Impulse. If you have a good hand, you have a good hand. This is what I enjoy doing against Mono Green Devotion. Rakdos midrange, their plan is to Thoughtseize and duress our hands and put on a ton of pressure. So what I like doing against Rakdos midrange is bring in our alternate win conditions. We want the cards that they're playing against to be varied in ways that we're allowed to kill them. And the thing is, they have to side out their removal to bring in all of these cards like Go Blank and Duress and stuff like that. So by bringing in these cards, they have to then make a decision of whether they want to stop our combo or whether they want to not die to a big creature that we just get to kill them with. So I like bringing in the actual creatures in this matchup. But we have to vary the ways that we're able to kill our opponents in this way. Because, again, they have that Thoughtseize. That being said, I'm not a big fan of Hope Tender. It doesn't block super well. And we want every draw in our deck to be, really, really good. And this is, one of the cards in our deck that is not a very good draw. And for a similar reason, I like shaving a Boreal Grazer. They're not going to kill you before the time that you can normally combo. And if you draw too many of these cards, you just don't really get to do anything. Is It Phoenix? I like sideboarding really similar to Red Black. Is It Phoenix is a little more aggressive and they interact with counter magic rather than Thoughtseizes and stuff. However, they're too fast to be able to Thought Distortion. And there's no I want to make it so that they feel bad siding out their removal. Both of these creatures we're bringing in have reach, which can also stop a lot of their aggression and can just win the game on their own. We need to keep in Bala Ged Recovery because, if something important gets countered, we need to be able to get it back. But we don't really care that much about speed. We want every card in our deck to be powerful because we need to fight through that counter magic. And we're going to see this a lot with these combo decks is that we don't actually sideboard that much because the more that we sideboard, the more issues we're going to have, actually trying to combo because we're diluting our deck. Against Mono White Humans, which is the 4th most popular deck in the format, we're bringing in Hope Tender because it's a good blocker and it helps us speed up our combo. And we're bringing in Witch's Vengeance because it can wipe their board. We just say human. They don't have a lot of interaction with us, really to speak of, but they are very, very fast. And so Bala Ged Recovery isn't really going to happen. Pretty much everything else in the deck will do something though. We want to do things similar to what we did before. We want to diversify our threats, make every card in our deck very good, and also we can kind of just stop what they're doing with Thought Distortion. The Wandering Emperor and Teferi don't really do much to our combo. Remember, our goal is to combo them, not to win a long game with them or anything. So I don't really like bringing in Pithy Needle. Pithy Needle needs to be for these decks that gather cards that are super duper good against us. So make them feel bad about siding out the removal and actually clear the way to combo. And doing so, it's okay when we're not fast. We just need to be able to like hit our cards, fight through this counter magic. So sideboarding out these cards that make us fast is totally okay, and we can focus entirely on the combo and presenting threats to our opponent. Abzan Greasefang is the 6th most popular deck in the format. And if we can like stop them from hitting us for just a few turns, gives us time to combo. They don't have a ton of interaction besides Thoughtseize, and they can't really put on the reliable pressure like Red-Black can. So I actually just like bringing in Fading Hope. If you're able to return Greasefang before they go to combat, they have to wait another turn, and that might give you enough time. But because they bring in Thoughtseize, there's some things that can go wrong. But they aren't being aggressive. Speed matters, but we're not blocking anything. And so I think siding out Hope Tender is solid. Because we want everything else, because like we need to get stuff back after they Thoughtseize us. If they Thoughtseize like Mastermind's Acquisition, we need Fae of Wishes in our deck, et cetera, et cetera. Gruul Midrange, also known as Red-Green Boats, is just another aggro deck, kind of a big stuff aggro deck. And the issue with like sideboarding against this deck is they don't actually play that much removal. However, we can go bigger than a lot of their stuff with Garganoth, and we can like stop their aggression a little bit with Fading Hope because a lot of their stuff is pretty big mana, and we can tempo them out in that way. They don't have a lot of interaction with us though, besides literally only Damping Sphere. Speed does absolutely matter, which is why we bring in the Hope Tender as well. Because they don't have that interaction, Balaged Recovery can hit the bin, and we don't have the time to be able to do that thing. Vizier of Tunneling Sands can hit the bin. It's not really that good against us. And Impulse can hit the bin. Having the ability to set up, I think, is a little bit too much of a luxury when you're trying to not die, and all your cards in your deck needing to be good. The 4-color Fires of Invention deck, specifically the Karuga version, but this is also relevant for the Yorion version. To some level, I want them to feel bad about siding out stuff, but also like there's some cards in our deck that are just like not that good against them. Like for example, like I'm not a big fan of Extinction Event. They're not really trying to kill us quickly with creatures, and so the goal is to combo them before the creatures really become a problem at all. And they don't really interact with us that much besides specifically Mystical Dispute. So we want to make sure that we're okay with counter magic, but also we want to make sure that then siding out their removal feels really bad again. But we want to be able to kill them as fast as possible. So I actually just like bringing in one Elder Garganoth, taking out one Extinction Event, calling it good, let's combo them. Bant Spirits is another one of those tempo decks where they're trying to interrupt you and put on pressure with counter magic like Lofty Denial, like Spell Queller, and things like that. The cool part about the deck, though, is if they Spell Queller you can just like make Spell Queller leave the battlefield with something like Fading Hope, be able to get that card back and continue comboing. I like that a lot. Witch's Vengeance is also really good against Bant Spirits, because obviously everything's a spirit and stuff generally have pretty low toughness. But again, just like before, we don't really have a lot of time, so returning things to the graveyard is a luxury that we generally don't have. So I like this sideboard. We're not trying to blank removal with these cards. Let's just combo them. And the last one is the Mirror Match. Mirror Match, love that Thought Distortion. Ooh, that feels good. Hope Tender is also solid to try to get an edge and try to like combo just a little bit faster than our opponent. But really, it's just about throwing haymakers back and forth because we don't have a lot of other big things that we can do. Because it's all about speed, we take out the recoveries and take out the Extinction Event. That doesn't really do anything. So hopefully this was valuable as a sideboard guide for Lotus Field combo. If you liked this video, if you thought it was helpful, please let me know in the comments if I missed anything, which I totally might have. Please let me know in the comments as well. Also, like and subscribe. Check me out on other social medias. Links are above me and in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.